guys, today we are going to show you a tour of our RV.
All while having a whole lot of fun.
You're drinking out of my cup. It's poopery, and you can look it up on what it's all about.
She got that from me too.
Welcome back to my camper kitchen. I am so excited. It has been a long summer and we have been working really hard to pack up the RV and head back on the road, but we thought before we did, we would give you a tour of it looking probably in its best condition it's going to look for the whole trip, because we had quite the mess to clean up, which I think we're going to show you a little bit of that in order to get things ready for today. Hey guys, it has been a long time since we've been living in our RV. So over the last several weeks, I have been trying really hard to slowly but surely get things organized, and I'll have to be honest, it has been very overwhelming, but we are now coming in our last week or two before we hit the road for a long time. I am now down to the last where I have to start getting, and so what I've decided to do is just empty out the trailer and then fill it back with what we need, because at this point I don't know what's in there, what's not, and that's not good. So that's what I'm doing today, is I am taking baskets and baskets of stuff out, and then hopefully over this next week I'll be able to pack it back the way that I hope it will be. So here we go. Baskets. And you know, satellite dish, because that's where that goes. More stuff that needs taken out before I bring it back in. I've been focusing on the kitchen mostly, and oh lordy, that was a mess. You can see our fridge isn't going right now. We have it ajar to keep things clean in there. Our room is a little bit of a disaster, but this is a little bit more organized than it was, believe it or not. So I've cleaned out my closets, and now it's time to put things back. I'm really excited about one of my ideas for my closets. So I'll have to show that to you here in a minute. I'm just now realizing this is probably the first full-on tour that you've had in here. So, and it's a mess. But you know what? That's how you know that you're true friends, right? So this is disaster zone. We are redoing this whole area, and this is a total disaster. So this was Addie's bed, is not going to be her bed anymore. We're going to change things. There are my photography lights for when we do photos of the food. Paper towels. There you go, Kim. See our paper towel stash? So this is all going to be reworked this week, hopefully. Now I don't even know what's on the floor back here, and there's Miss Ad's Crocs that have been tossed aside. So as you can see, I have lots to do, lots and lots to do. The bathroom isn't too bad, I don't think. So there's that.
So Cris has been working really hard on the inside. Big props to her. I am not a packer. I'm more of a pack rat. So for her to be able to organize everything was really good. Like we've shown y'all before on our last travels, RV life with a family is definitely a lot of teamwork. You know, and you find what jobs you're best at. I'm not the organizer. I leave that up to Cris. I do the heavy lifting and a lot of There's a semi going by.
That's to trash me.
Oh. Bye. But I'll do the heavy lifting, and I'll do like the maintenance things around the RV, you know, fixing things, building things.
Because you're really good at figuring things out.
Yeah. But one of the things I figured out was I got a toolbox for my truck, which holds a lot more of the tools and other things to store. Like we've got the satellite internet, and in the front cubby, which I'll show you here in a little bit, it was just a mess. And everything, you know, as you're traveling, things get pulled out, they get put back in. Sometimes they don't get put back in right because I'm a pack rat, not a packer. But like the tripod and things like that, there was just a lot of stuff in that front cubby. So I got a toolbox for the back of the truck, and I'm able to put more stuff in there that freed stuff up in other places. So I guess I am a little organizational, but still, it's a mess. But one of the things that we wanted to do was to make room, but in doing so, that toolbox was kind of wide, and so I put the bikes in the back of the truck, and now the bikes don't fit because of the width of the toolbox. So we went ahead and got a bike rack for the back of the truck, and it's real sturdy, and I've got it tied in a couple different places just to make sure, one, the bikes don't fall off, and two, people do like to pilfer. So we've got bike locks on there to make sure that people can't take it off either without a key. All I did was I took the spare tire and slid it over, put on the bike rack. Now I have a new problem. It covers up the license plate, so I've got to figure that out. I think we got a thing last night.
We're gonna move it, yeah.
We went on date night last night. Date night usually consists of a trip to Walmart because, well, we are who we are. So we got a license plate holder, and I'll mount that either up here or on the other side.
You know, the Crock Posse is probably wondering why we decided to park on the highway to do this video.
We live right on a major highway. Well, not really on it, but sometimes it feels like it. So, you know, we're ready to go and get on the highway instead of living on it. Up here, I've got a pile of trash I've got to clean up, so sorry if you see that, but that's for cleaning out the truck and the trailer. It's going to look a little messy because it's packed full, but in our front cubby we have everything. This is a bag that's filled with gloves, rubber gloves, you know, because if you're an RVer, you know one of the dirty jobs that somebody gets to do is to dump the tanks, so it helps keep the hands clean. The stability bars, I got my drill and my impact driver in here for if we need to do any repairs. The mount for the satellite dish is in there. Behind that is the generator that we have in case we need power for whatever reason. And then on the other side is like the water supplies, and that's one thing that we learned early on is keep your septic and drain pipes and all that on one side of the cubby. Keep your clean water stuff on the other side. You gotta keep them separated. Because you don't want to mix your poop with your drinking water.
Ew.
Sorry, a little gross, but that's the RV life. I take you around the other side, but really there's nothing to see except for...
What about the outdoor kitchen? You worked on that.
Oh, I did. Did I do anything to it?
I don't know. Yesterday you clocked your head on it.
I was putting some things up, and here, I'll show you. So on the outdoor kitchen, and it might be a mess. I don't know what it looks like.
You were supposed to clean it up. I was cleaning up the inside. You were cleaning up the kitchen.
Oops. So anyway, outdoor kitchen opens up like this, and this little latch right here is all that holds this door. This door doesn't weigh much, but really neither does a 5-pound sledgehammer. But if you drop a 5-pound sledgehammer on your head or this door, it's gonna hurt. So here's our, oh, I left that light on last night too. This is our outdoor kitchen. I've got my grill stuff in here, like the small propane tanks. This is like a picnic mat, grill supplies, and then of course we keep our sodas here.
And all that can get cleaned out when we need to use
Yeah,
the
whenever
kitchen.
we open this up, we organize everything again. But when you're traveling, you got to pack everything, you know. But everything fits, which is good. Outdoor beer fridge. Chris makes sure that we keep plenty of beer for her out here.
Yeah.
And this is a really good thing to keep this latched because
if you don't,
it'll go everywhere. And then over here, I've got all the cables for power as well as when we hook up the satellite internet, we can run it. I ran a conduit, which I've got to put back together, but I ran a conduit to the other side so the cables are nice and tidy. But that's the outdoor kitchen.
Outside. So let's go inside. Because it's cold out here.
Yesterday, it was like in the 70s. This past week, it was in the 80s. Today, we woke up 50. 50.
Michael.
That's all it is. So we're ready to go south and get on the road. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Yeah. We walk outside, and of course, he was crying because he is a camper dog, but he has to be near the humans.
Yes.
All right, so
humans were missing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you show us what you did for the inside?
Okay, so we have done a lot of things. Should we start with the bedroom, you think?
I don't mind.
Oh, goodness. Turn around. So, as you guys might recall from the earlier footage, this was a hot mess.
Look at that now. She's made the bed. Look at that. All organized.
Okay, I gotta get in there so I can show them my trick.
Hello.
Hello. So one of the challenges that we have had in the RV and through RV living and traveling long term is how to manage our clothes and our laundry. And so I've been kind of brainstorming around that. What I did last year is I used red cubby cubes to kind of put things in so people could move them around, but it just kind of made a mess. So I was talking to my friend Taylor the other day, and she said, have you ever thought about using the packing cubes that you get, the little bags that you get to go inside suitcases, that might be an option? And I started to fall in love with that idea. So I don't know, can you see it here? From here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what this is, these are just what you would put inside your suitcase. And you can either organize it per outfit or per type of clothing. And why I like this is because it's easy to grab and get to, okay, I need my jeans, which are down here, and I can pull that bag out and put it back in. And it's not as much to manage. I like that both for me and also for the two people I try to keep organized in their areas. Although Mikey does say, where is such and such? And I say in the green bag, and all of his bags are green. So we're color coded.
Every one of them green.
But they do have see-through windows, but we think we're going to have to label his on the outside too. But that's okay. So one of my thoughts was that because these are so portable, is that when Mikey and Addie go and do our laundry for us, they could stuff these bags into the laundry basket, so they can just go ahead and put everything in the proper cube and it get tossed back in the closets instead of us having to sort clothes like we have been having to do. So that's really exciting. Now for our bigger, bulkier clothing, I still have those red packing cubes. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Down in the bottom for like heavy sweatshirts and that kind of stuff that I can just move things around if I need to. And those little red cubes, we have tons of those. We're using them for all kinds of things. Not my red cubes, but the red packing cubes. Oh, by the way. Notice who has control of that.
Do I get to pinch you now?
No. Okay, so then moving down here on the floor, at the foot of our bed, we have those packing cubes to hold different kinds of things that we need. The first cube has a lot of our hiking kind of stuff in it. The second cube is Skitty's cube because he likes a place to hide. And so it's his little thing. Then you've got the bed that Mikey installed for Octavius here. And this actually can fold down if we need to be able to get through here. And then we have all of my cookbooks at easy access right there.
Can't go without a tote of cookbooks.
Nope. And then I've got another cube stuffed over here that has all my tennis shoes in it. And then we both have nightstands that have like little like books and journals and all that kind of stuff. Hanging my robe here. And we also, I have to have a step stool to get up and down off of this bed.
It's a little high.
Yes, it's a little high. And people ask us a lot of times if we like kept the RV mattress or whatever, but we got a memory foam mattress that we really, really like. It was really inexpensive and it's in our Amazon shop. Another thing, I don't know if you want to show them, I think it's in the third cube down here, is how we put our DVD player up.
Oh, we got a DVD player. I won't worry about getting it out for now,
Yeah.
but we just got some of that industrial Velcro
Put it up
and
there.
mounted it there. So when we travel, we take it down, unhook it, and then you can see
goes in a
you
cube.
can see the cord right there, and the DVD player's underneath it. But when we go to setup shop, like if we can't get a signal somewhere for television, but we want to watch something, then we've got a wide array of movies, a big vast selection of pretty much every Marvel movie ever made, and there's some other movies too.
Yes.
But we just hook it on Velcro there, and we learned to make more than one strip out of it, so that just in case
It doesn't fall on us.
Because if you notice, it's on my side of the bed, and my feet hang off right there.
Where's my cord at? I wanted to show them that too.
It's right here.
And then also something that we're doing, we have one of these in the front, on the front TV. We have a TV in here. This little handy dandy cord lets you stream on your TV anything that you have streaming on your phone, and it only counts against your phone streaming, not your data hotspot. And those of you who are trying to keep track of those things, you know that those are two, depending on your carrier, those can be two different things. And this actually will help us save our streaming data, our mobile hotspot data that we need for, well, putting up YouTube videos and such.
There you go.
So we like that. We've got one of those for in here too. But now let's head to my favorite place, my camper kitchen. Watch out, puppy dog. Okay, so our kitchen is almost packed. I still have a few things to do, and I'm not going to go through the refrigerator freezer because I want to make a special video about that for you guys to kind of talk about how we really think through how we store and prepare food on the road. So that'll be in a future video. But for now, I'm going to show you how we've got our cabinets and our kitchen kind of situated. So first off, and we are prepared to move right now for the most part. Things, well, aside from Mikey's coffee mug there. Most things are packed away the way they would be right before we pull the slide in to move. But we have this little hangy thing that hangs off. We have these throughout the trailer, and they come in really, really handy to kind of keep extra things that you're constantly grabbing at. So there's that. I also have this paper towel holder that people often ask us about. And as I was telling Mikey, I like to put my paper towels like this so that it's pressing against it so it doesn't unroll while we drive. So I like that. And then here's my cabinet that is somewhat organized. We have snacks. I learned very quickly that I used to keep all of our snacks in the cabinet over there. But the problem is when we're on the road and I need to grab something out of the trailer and the slide is pulled in, you can't get in that cabinet. So I've had to learn that I need to keep our go-to snacks kind of in this cabinet where we can grab them if people are getting a little grouchy on the road and we need to get somebody something sweet.
She's talking about me.
So we've got all of our lovely low-carb snacks here. We've got our baking kind of things here, and we've got right here our low-carb breading mix for our fried chicken, which I'm getting ready to make a batch up in our Ninja Foodie so that we can have road food when we get ready to leave. Then these are invaluable. These are just those little plastic shoe boxes. You can get them in bulk on Amazon, or you can go to Walmart and get them, and they typically have like a little white pop-on lid. But this helps you keep everything organized, and it also makes for far less messes so that your pickles don't turn over and spill all over everything. I love these. I use them everywhere in everything. So we're going to put that back in there. I also have all of our like utensils and things for cooking, because this is where I do the majority of the cooking, so it's easy to grab that. And then we've got like condiments and things like that. So there's that. Here to drive, I throw the cleaners in here, but this little guy is also very valuable because it makes it an easy way for us to grab food to eat. And I got a new one of these that fits easily in here so that when we travel, it has a place to go. It has a home. Everything needs to have a home. And then we have a new kernel this season. If you guys know, I love using a bucket to thaw my meat for whenever we're grilling and that kind of thing. And so we've nicknamed it the Kernel after Colonel Sanders with KFC. No affiliation. But anyhow, we also keep the kernel here in the sink so that whenever we aren't hooked up to any kind of septic or anything like that, we can wash our hands and that kind of thing, and the water goes in the bucket, and then that water can just be kind of tossed outside and not have to go down into our gray tanks, and then we have to find a place to go dump it. So that's it comes in very handy. This is another one of Mikey helpful additions that we've added. This is a little table that pops up, gives us just a little bit more counter space. This also gives us a clearance that whenever we're set up somewhere, our ice machine will go down here, and also the pets' water and food will go under here so we don't kick it around, because that is so not fun when you have bowls of water kicked around. Alright, but this easily, we added Velcro, that industrial Velcro to it, so that when we travel it doesn't bounce.
Yeah.
So, there's that. In here is the cubby that I hate because Mikey always tosses stuff in here.
That's for my camera batteries, wallet.
Yeah, he throws stuff in here.
That's my everything cubby.
It's his catch-all. So, and it's a hot mess right now. So there's that. We have all of our pet stuff here for easy access. And then this cabinet is a little bit of a mess, but it's got entertainment stuff in it. It's got animal treats. And then also just like basic electronic stuff that we've got to grab. And then, speaking of other messes, underneath our couch, one of my favorite places, watch out puppy dog, is also a place to just toss things. We have games in there, and then an extra ladder. It looks like we've got some an extra power cord in there too.
The dog's blocking the shot, but I think y'all get the gist
He's
of
like,
it.
I'm the star. This also pops out into a bed, but like a lot of things in this trailer, like I think it sleeps 10. We are totally just using it for how we need to use it, and we're not trying to sleep. We have 3 people in our family, so we are using things for storage and that kind of thing. So we don't make this out into a bed. Up here is where we keep all of our containers and cooking kind of stuff. I love these clear plastic, and I need to make sure these are in our RV camper store in our kitchen. They're clear plastic containers by Rubbermaid, and they have a lid that goes on them that makes them totally watertight. And we're talking like vacuum sealed, nothing spills, which is very handy in an RV. So if I put leftovers in this and pop this in my fridge and it pops out when we get somewhere, it does not dump everywhere, unlike a lot of my other containers that I have that I just use typically at home. So love these. They come in multiple sizes that we use for leftovers, and they slide in here. Then we've got coffee mugs, more containers. It's just like storage and cooking kind of things that go in there that we use on a regular basis. I'm not going to lift it up right now, but underneath this seat is also storage, and that is where our crock pots are. So we keep our crock pots in there. It's a nice place. It keeps it separated for everything while we travel. And then that way they don't get hurt or broken, because then that would make me sad. So now the foodie doesn't fit down there. It has a special home in the back. We'll get there in a minute. Up here is just random stuff right now. Just honestly, I've kind of not fully packed all this. This is just pantry items, more pantry items, and paper plates and spoons and forks. And then we've got our distilled water down there for our ice maker and the CPAP machine and all that jazz. And the well, it's not a Keurig. We've got, for the trailer, we've got a really small, cute Farberware like thing. Yeah. And I really like it. But here is another one of those nifty additions. It's just a hang over the door hook, so we can hang our jackets depending on what jackets we need. I like winter jackets and those kinds of really heavy things. I can put in like the storage that's not easy to get to, like under the seats and that kind of thing.
Because we're trying to avoid winter.
Yes, but we have light jackets here hanging, so we can easily grab that. We also have, this is a really cool trick that we do, is we put zip ties on things that have handles like this so that they can hang when we need them to. So we've got that there. And now the bathroom, the place where I had the least amount that I had to really do. We've got a cubby full of just typical things. I also use little plastic containers in this cabinet. I found these at Walmart. So also to keep things so that when things move around, it just doesn't have an option to make a whole lot of mess. Then we have the aerator shower head that helps when we have really bad water pressure. It helps actually make a decent shower somewhat. And then I have like a little crate that has all of our toiletries. Instead of trying to hang them up and everything, they just go down in that little thing that can set there so that I know they're not going to fall around. We have another hook for towels on the back of the bathroom door. And then this thing is really, really handy because this is like toiletries that we're grabbing all the time, so people don't have to constantly in the cabinets and knocking things in the toilet and all that jazz. And then we have the very special spray that is very important for enclosed living when everybody is living so close to one another. It's poo-pourri, and you can look it up on what it's all about.
She got that from me too.
Another really cool thing that well, it's not really cool. Another warm thing we have in the trailer to kind of save for our propane gas when we're hooked up to electric is we have these electric ceramic heaters. We have one here in the hallway by Addie's bedroom, and then we have one in our bedroom, and it just gives a little extra warmth.
Yeah, they're not super hot, but
no.
they just...
I mean, you can still touch them.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't want to just hold your hand there, but you can still touch them so nobody's going to get burned with it. But it is really nice to kind of add a little warmth to the trailer. So back here, I'm going to let Mikey show you one of the really nifty things that he made back here to fix a major problem we were having. Alrighty.
So now we're in the back of the trailer. They call this the bunkhouse, which it's a 4-bed bunkhouse. Up here is a bed, down here is a bed, up here is a bed, and then down here you've got seating area and with storage underneath the seats. There was a table right here, just like a normal, like a pedestal table that was here that you could remove, and then you would lay the a piece of wood that came with it down across here, and that would make a bed here. So 4 beds. We got 1 kid, so we only need 1 bed, and so we turn the rest of it into storage. This is where we keep all of our supplies. You know, we've got our chips and other dried goods. Down below, this is where we keep like our camera stuff as well, like our tripods. and all of our towels and things like that, miscellaneous small appliances. And we turned this into Miss Ad's bed. Of course, she was afraid being on the top that she might fall out, so we got her one of these. This ladder comes down here and hooks right here. Really sturdy. She loves this. She's got...
Show them the ladder, because I also realized I love the ladder because I'm using the other side as... okay. Ooh. I like it because it helps me get to the storage I have too, because I can climb up on it because it moves around.
Right, it's a very sturdy ladder.
Yeah.
I had to cut it down about 4 inches off the bottom of it. Works just fine. Cris or Miss Ad can climb up the ladder and get whatever they need through here. And then if we want to like not have it here while we're driving, we'll just pop it off and toss it on top of her bed, which I'll do now so that I can get underneath and show you guys one of the problems that we fixed. If you look down here on the floor, you'll see screw holes. And that's because that's where that pedestal was. There were 2 pedestals there, and through transport and bumping into it and things like that, a lot of things in an RV are not that sturdy. They're not made, really honestly, to last, because you keep everything light as you can, because you're going to pack it full of the stuff you're going to live with. And so the pedestals, the screws started to pop out of the floor, which is completely normal. That happens. And I could have drilled deeper and tried to put the screws back in there, but we also kind of wanted a prettier table, because right back here is where Cris takes pictures of the food. Like when she's making her blog posts, she has to take pretty pictures. And so what I did to fix that was we threw that table out, and she had a special like
my photography board.
a photography board, which has the pretty wood, so you got the background for all the pretties. Now you're kind of knowing the secrets of how we do things. But what we wanted to do in order for easier transport and not to have pedestals on the floor, so what I did in order to replace that table, instead of putting pedestals back, and again, that just makes it more cumbersome for stuff, when you're moving around in here.
Stuff hits it, and so that's why it strips out the screws.
You bang back and forth, and the top of the table was heavy, and just after a while, it kind of shakes the screws loose. So instead of replacing the pedestals or drilling new holes in the floor, which I really didn't want to do, because I'm not really sure exactly where the water lines run through there to the black tank, and you don't want to pierce your black tank. What I did was I took Chris's specialty board, her photography board, and I cut it down to size. If you want to look down there, I just took a jigsaw and cut this down to where this lays against the wall like that. But then I put hinges on it, and if you listen, hear that? That's
that
Velcro, so that will stay when we're driving. There's 2 hinges, and it latches just like that. Now those hinges are locked, if you want to kind of look underneath and show those hinges there. But when you are filming food, plates, bowls, slow
and
cookers,
this is also a desk for Addie.
right? And or if you're leaning on the desk, or if she's got her laptop up there, that is tied into the wall there with screws, and it'll hold just like that, but you don't want to rest on it. So I put 2 eye screws here, and then all I do is I got some cheap chain and more eye screws up here that are tied into a piece of wood, and all you do is latch here, and latch here, and now you've got a sturdy table that will hold, I would say, up to 50, maybe 60 pounds, and we don't cook that much. So that is very sturdy, and it's, again, for Addie when she's doing her school, or she wants to be back here reading, or she's on her laptop, whatever she's doing, she's got a place to sit, and I'll even sit in here and show you.
There you go.
Watch your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is really, really sturdy. And then when we're gonna either take it down for transport, or if we're gonna, take it down just to get things out of the way, all I gotta do is unhook the D-ring. If I can get my fingers to work this morning. You ever notice as you get older, your body parts don't want to work the way you want them to, or how they used to? I'll unhook this. I've got them really tight, so that's why it's doing that. And then I just pop this hinge.
Everything's about transport.
Yes. And that goes straight down just like that. and ties right into that Velcro. And then I just latch this through here, right up to here. And now everything is out of the way, and you can sit back here and stretch out if you want to.
But that gives us extra storage room down there. So like Addie's cubbies up there, one of them, they don't stay stacked when we travel. The black baskets, one comes down and stays on the floor so that we don't have a mess. We also fixed a big problem back here, meaning we were really struggling with how to handle laundry, and so we got this really nifty, can you lift that out of there? Really nifty laundry basket that they can just, we toss our laundry in it all week long, and then they can take that directly to the laundromat.
And then it breaks down.
Yep, it can break down if you don't want it. Yep. So that goes in there. Here we go. And then, you want to take this? So just to kind of clarify a little bit, this isn't fully packed. Up here is where the foodie will go eventually. I actually use our paper towels while they're loose right now, is I use it to kind of pack things away that are breakable, to kind of wedge it in there so that it can't move. I'm also missing some of our our animal food that's going to go here too. But then that's last minute stuff that we're going to be packing. Back here, I've packed pantry items that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get on the road. As you know, we eat low carb. So there's lots of things like our low carb pasta and our low carb chips that we order from specialty stores. So I just packed it so we could have it. And then down here, like Mike was saying, is our props area for for photography. It's also got our camera tripods and all that. And then this is is a really awesome little table that works both in our kitchen and also can work outside, that just pops up and has all kinds of places to set slow cookers and everything else. And then this little cubby down here is Addie's old nightstand, but it's going to have all of her homeschool books and that kind of stuff inside of it. After she completes this week, we will pop them in there, and then I just turn it with its face for the drawers to actually face the wall so it doesn't splurt out everywhere. Oh, and then this laundry basket right now, which is a hot mess right now, is full of like our coffee maker, our food processor, our tea maker, those kinds of things. It just keeps them all together so that they don't jostle around. Last but not least is Miss Ad's closet, which is probably a mess. But she's got purple packing cubes, and they are all in there. And during our dry run here a few days ago, we all tested out our cubes, and I think it helped keep things a little tidier. Even though it might look sloppy, it's way better than it was. So, I think that's it. The only place I didn't show them...
I like this.
Yeah. Oops. These are our bike helmets. They just hang there. Yep. So that they have a place to be whenever we need to grab them. And then there is a hall closet across from the bathroom, but it is nothing but a hot mess. It's got like our vacuum and our wet jet and all that kind of stuff in it, but it still needs something. So we'll see that.
I'll clean that up later.
So do you want to close us on out there, dear?
We're going camping for a very long time. So now you see kind of how we figured out between last year and the different dry runs we've done on how we like to kind of keep things organized, because in such a small space like this, it doesn't take long to have things a little disheveled. So this is our way of kind of having a place for everything and kind of keeping everything in its place. And we hope that you like the tour of our cow, as we call it. Addie calls it the camper on wheels. And if you like what you're seeing here, give us one of these down below. Give us a thumbs up. Also, if you have not become a member of the Crock Posse, which is our slow cooking family and also our traveling family, all you got to do is click subscribe down below and you're automatically a member of the Crock Posse. We do a lot of cool things around here other than just traveling. We do some cooking, we do some singing. Well, I do some singing.
I don't do
She sings in the shower, but
I
she
do
won't
the
let me
cooking.
take that. Yeah, she does. She does a lot of the cooking, and she does all the cooking. I do all the eating. But we'd love for you to join us, and also, whatever you do, laugh often
Eat good food.
and speak life. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon